Here with Arnolda Dufour Bowes.
Yes.
I just want to do an introduction of kind of like how I know you. Because to me, you're one of the most inspiring people I know.
So scary.
Because you do everything.
Yeah.
And you make it look really easy. You're just like
you gotta do it or die, man.
Yeah. And it's like you make like people that are like incredible, and you just make it like look real easy. You're just up to everything, and you're crushing everything, and you just keep doing it. And you're one of the people that I see every day that is just like, it's awesome, inspiring. You know?
Let's go.
Right. Yes. So before we get into what you've been up to, I just want to know, I just want you to kind of introduce yourself, but without using what you do.
Without using what I do.
Who are you without what you do for a living?
Who am I? Well, I'm Aries. I like long walks on the beach.
How long? How long?
Okay, who am I? I am a mother of 3, which is the most important part. As parents, we know that. I'm an artist, storyteller. I don't know. I say athlete, but because I've always trained something, I've always done something. Music, art, jewelry. If something comes up and I want to try it, I'm going to try it. I don't know. I always say, the other day I had someone also say, they're like, well, you're like a jack of all trades. I'm like, that's exactly it. I said, jack of all trades, but like master of nothing. And I love doing tons and tons and learn. The thing that I think what it is I love learning. So if there's something new coming up, I want to do it. And it's like same thing. When I learned how to do screenplays, I've never written a movie in my life. I didn't even know anything except for I know stories. And then all of a sudden, okay, well now I got a script. Okay, who knew? I've hardly been to any plays beforehand. And also I'm like, oh, I'm going to write a play. I'm going to write a play. What the hell? Let's write a play. And it's going to be on stage this coming year. And it's just like, but I think it's that hunger just for learning. And I said, that's what I love. So that. And
so how do you go about writing a play if you've never...
You watch plays, you read plays, and you have these ideas, right? And then you just jump in. People always say, oh, you jump in with 2 feet. I said, no, I think I dive into everything head first. And if I crush it, I crush it. If I break my neck, I break my neck. It's like, you just get up and you learn again.
So I think you're a jack of all trades and a master of everything.
Yeah.
Because everything is doing well. You're doing well.
Everything is going good. Yeah. Yes. No, yeah. And yeah, I think that's about it. I love hiking and being outside. I think that's the most important thing too. I love being outside. So.
And for being an athlete, I think you and Gary Kopis had a lifting contest and you crushed them. So if anyone asks Gary Kopis, you are an athlete.
It was 190 pounds. Crushed him.
Okay, and I'm a fairly new parent. Mm-hmm. So tell me everything.
It is the scariest journey you will ever take. No, just kidding.
Yeah.
It kind of is, because basically it's walking into something where you know nothing. If you walk in thinking you know it, you're screwed. You might as well just walk out, because every kid is different. You can't go even based on what your parents did. It's like a loose kind of framework you got, right? And you try and take out all the bad and then add in some other good, but then your kids are in there and your kids are like, what the hell is going on here? But I think I approached parenting. Okay, we're paying for all their therapy now. But anyway, but I approach parenting as much as I approach life. It's like, it has to be fun. Has to be flexible. It's ever changing. I think maybe too with my first, I was a lot more strict, right? And as after the first, it's like, oh, it's out the window. We just got to have fun. And then, homeschooling them. And we did, phys ed classes together. We did boxing together. We did absolutely everything. I think that was the best part for me, was homeschooling them as a parent, because we became so close during that time, and learning what they loved and what they hated. And like I said, the two most important things I wanted to instill in my kids is reading and some kind of fitness. I said, I don't care if you grow up and you become a boxer. I don't care if you grow up and you become a volleyball player. But you need to have some kind of physicality in your life, because without physical health, everything else for me, I think, is downhill. So again, for me, I always try to teach you got to take care of all aspects. Like, you got to be, whatever you believe in, you have to believe in something. Because if you don't believe in something, like spiritually, you'll fall for anything, right? So you need that foundation. As like, you need to take care of your mental health, however that is. For me, it's art. Your physical self. If you're not taking care of yourself physically, to me, like, this is what carries my spirit in my body. If I'm not taking care of it, then I'm screwed, right? So all those different elements, I always try to make sure, as a parent, that's what I try and make sure I instill in my kids. And they all go to the gym, or they're all in sports, and they all read. That was the most important part. So yeah, and they're lifelong. And I try to make sure, like you said, lifelong learners. So always make sure you're trying to learn something. We never know it all.
I think for Demi and I, because that's, as of right now, that's our game plan, is to homeschool.
Yeah. It is so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what did that look like? Was it like from the beginning all the way, or was it like you did it for a little bit, had them?
At the beginning, we did it just so I could spend time with each of the kids. So I told them, each of the kids, you get to pick 1 year where you get to come out of school and spend a whole year with mom. Yay. Now they'd be like, oh my gosh, not a full year with mom. But when they're little, it was like, oh, I get to be with mom. So it was like, they loved it. And then we sat down. I'm like, okay, I know what you like to do. And then I know you need to learn your basics, your reading, your math, and your sciences, right? I said, but for me, what I always taught them was, if I can teach you to read and comprehend, you can literally learn anything in the world, whether it's engineering or mathematics. To me, if you can learn reading and comprehend what you're reading, the world just opens up absolutely everything to you. So each of them took a year. We did it here, and then we moved to the Middle East, and then we didn't like the schooling system there. Plus, we were on a compound that was like an hour and a half away from the school, and they're getting on the buses at 6 a.m. in the morning and not getting home till like almost 6 o'clock at night, and having about 3 hours worth of homework. And I'm like, no, we're not doing this. So I ended up homeschooling them there. And it was so much fun. We did science experiments. We did eyeball dissections. We did like everything that was fun. Everything that they found interesting is what we did. Right. And now, like I said, I have kids who are lifelong learners. They love to read. They can comprehend and understand stuff. They're all top of their grades. Like, Josh is in the 90s in university. He's got all these scholarships. Rhiannon's doing amazing. Like, she's going into pre-med. He's going in agriculture. The youngest, same thing. She's at top of her class right now, and she's graduating this year. And I was like, it's not even about the grades. I said, I just need to know that you can learn and be willing to learn. And I always told them, I was like, I don't even care if you go to university. I know everyone's going to hate me for saying this, but I said, I just need to know that you're going to be a good person and somehow contribute to society. That's my main goal for you. I said, but reading, I said, you always need to have options. So I need to know that you can read, comprehend, do math, and then everything else will work out as you grow up. Because I've changed my careers probably 20 times in all my life. I've done everything from construction to nursing to event coordinating to working at a Crown Corporation as an admin assistant. I've worked in, restaurants and clothing places, and then teaching when I was a nurse. And then now I'm writing and playwriting and screenwriting. And
I feel like that's your
else.
creative mind. Just like everything comes,
Everything.
and then you get bored, and then you
got to go somewhere else. I got to learn something else. Yeah. Oh, I even got to act this past year. It was really cool. I got asked to be in a film. I'm like, sure. So I got to be a vampire's mother. It was awesome.
Where was that?
It was in Calgary. Yeah. So Dallas Sunyas, he's another Indigenous filmmaker and director, and he asked me, he's like, I got the perfect. He's like, I know you said you don't act, but I'm pretty sure you can. He's like, just from your personality, I know you could do this. He's like, just come down to Calgary and do this one part. And I was like, okay, sure. And it was fun.
TV or movie?
It's a short film, yeah. So I don't know when or what they're doing with it. It's hopefully going to be in some of the film festivals. But I was like, oh, I think I want to do this again because like I memorized all my lines and stuff. But anytime you make a mistake, all you have to do is like say line and then just stop there and wait. And then someone repeats the line. I'm like, okay, I got it. And then you continue on. I'm like, oh, this is so much. It's okay, not easy. Actors, not saying that it's hard because you got to do your work ahead of time and know what you're doing. But compared to theater, where you can stop things midway and then go again, I was like, oh, this is so much better than theater.
Oh yeah.
Theater actors are on another level. That's ridiculous. So,
have you done that?
Theater?
No,
my children have. So Rhiannon was involved in Persephone, and then she was actually also chosen to go to Switzerland with Juilliard. So we went with her for 3 weeks, and it was an absolutely amazing experience. But it was great, and that's why I said I love opening up opportunities for my kids, and I'm always pushing them to try something new, learn something new, because in your learning, you're either going to learn I love it or I hate it. So in that experience, going to Juilliard in Switzerland, as much as she was loving theater here, when she got there, she figured out after how intense it was, she goes, I really don't like acting as much as I thought I did. I was like, why not? She's like, I don't like being told what to do. I was like, well, apple isn't far from the tree, honey.
I was going to say something, so I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, so that was her discovery, and it was great. And then she concentrated more on her sciences and math, and because I think at first she was thinking maybe going into arts, but she's like, no, I'm over that now. So she's going to be going into medicine at some point. So
what happens when you mess up in theater?
Hopefully you have really good supporting actors around you, because then they can pick up the ball. And then they will have people off to the side, like on the wings, who can possibly help you. But yeah, it's usually your supporting who's on stage with you will pick it up. And then all of a sudden it comes back to you, like, oh, that's what I have to do. Or what I missed saying, right? The show goes on. You just keep going. So, yeah.
All right. One thing I wanted to talk about, because I think it's been long enough. Maybe. Should be fine.
Uh-oh.
Just like how we first met.
How did we first met? I don't even know.
In a garage boxing.
Oh, the illegal fight club. No small children were harmed in the making of that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel it
was the illegal fight club. Yeah. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh, those were the days.
You even made us fight club soaps. I should have brought it.
Oh, do you still have it?
Of course. Oh. That was the coolest thing. Yeah.
I had those shipped in from, where the heck? Fort McMurray. Yep.
Yeah, I won't. So over COVID, we wanted to keep boxing. Yep. So we would meet up in a garage and we would box.
We'd all meet secretly out on a dirt road and then follow to an unknown location.
So we could keep training going. And that's how I met Arnolda. Oh. And then we really didn't talk that much.
No, I don't think
for
so.
Like years.
Yeah.
And then we ran into each other again when you were helping Gary.
Yeah.
And then now we're best friends.
Just meeting up everywhere now.
Yeah. Going to shows, hanging out. So it's been and you've been involved in boxing forever.
For a very long time.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how did you get started with boxing then?
How did I get started with boxing? Originally would have been when I was about this tall. My dad actually used to help coach at the Friendship Center years and years ago when I was little. And I grew up around my dad. So wherever my dad was, I was. So construction sites. So that the book, Maggie Lou, she learns how to do construction. She learns how to box and learns how to hunt. And all those 3 things were stuff that I learned from my dad. So growing up, like I said, I used to sit on the side of the ring and I was like, oh, this is like the coolest thing ever. I loved it. And then my dad would not allow me in the ring. But I could go every Saturday. There I was on the side of the ring, sitting by the spit bucket, and I'd go dump it. But he wouldn't let me do that. But he allowed me to do construction. Like I said, he had kind of some double standards. I don't know what it was.
Like, wouldn't let you train or just
No,
compete?
he would not. He would not. He did not want me to get.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. But he also, he just didn't want me to do that. So I did construction with him, but I was there all the time with him on weekends. And then I made my own bag. It wasn't really a bag. I'd take my mattress. I think I put it in the book too that Maggie Lou did. Teleposts in our basement, right?
Oh yeah.
Right. So I would take my mattress and I would duct tape that or tie it to the telepost, and that was my bag. So I would work that. Whatever I saw the guys doing, I would go home and then that's what I would do. So until I cracked my knuckle on the telepost.
So then for gym wise, who's the first person you trained with?
Michelle Nelson.
Michelle.
Yep.
I never got to meet Michelle.
Oh,
yeah.
She was the most amazing human being in the whole world. I met her. I can't even remember how we even met. We became friends. And yeah, it's been years. Honestly, I can't even remember when we even met. But like I said, unfortunately, we lost her. Was it 2 years ago or 3 years ago? And then in honor of her, the family asked me to officiate her celebration of life. It was the hardest thing ever, but it was also the most beautiful thing because you got to see everyone that she influenced. And like there was everyone out in BC and then everyone in Saskatchewan and all around Canada who were watching everything online, just to see and hear the amount of people that she touched and the amount of people that she inspired was absolutely beautiful. And then in the end, I think it was on the year anniversary, me and Gary went and got matching tattoos in honor of her. So this one is actually, she gave me one of her very old business cards like years ago, and me and her were going to get them tattooed and we never did. But I still had that business card. And this was a picture of it and it says "Fight Like a Girl." And me and him went and got that in honor of her. So yeah, so I just trained with her forever. And then, I think I got the WBC level 1 coaching and I started helping her. And then life happens. You have kids, you move. We lost touch for a bit and then I came back. And then, then lost her. And then, and then just trained with Gary and them just for fun. And then I've always had a heavy bag in my basement. Usually I have a speed bag. I don't have one set up right now. But again, growing up, that was just something my dad I either made one or I had one. So
you think you'd ever do one fight?
I did. Actually, Gary just asked me the other day because I said, I just want to do pads. So I said, afternoons, can I just come by? Came by. He's like, you should go, like Masters. You can go, like just jump in. I was like, oh, we'll see. Just wait. My cardio is like so bad right now. Like just powerlifting, I got the power. I was like, it's the cardio that everyone got right now. Yeah. So we'll see. He's asking. Someone else asked me if I go back. I was like, oh, we'll see. Just hang on here.
It'd be nice just to get that one. At least that one would be nice, right?
Yep.
It's like one of the most intense things ever.
Yeah. Well, I did. Like I fought out in BC. Me and Michelle went out there. Oh my gosh, I can't remember how many years ago. So it was for a title and I did lose. And then afterwards I told her, I was like, well, this is one thing I know why I lost. It wasn't just that we didn't train. I said, I actually was partially legally blind. So I have laser surgery now, so I can see without my contacts. Beforehand, I was minus 9.8 in one eye. Minus 9.9. It was so bad. Anyways, when I went to go get my laser surgery afterwards, they told me, they're like, did you know you're actually like legally or partially blind? You could actually go get a handicap sticker with the eyesight you have. Because if my glasses and contacts were gone, I couldn't see past my nose. And right as soon as you get hit, contacts are gone. Right.
Mm.
I kept telling her, I'm like, I can't fucking see anything. She's like, too bad. It was bad. It was bad. It was funny. So, anyways,
I think I have a boxer right now who has that issue.
it is
And,
bad.
like,
Yeah.
no matter what, she just leans in and squints.
Yeah.
Even if she's trying to hear better or
Yeah.
see better.
It is horrible. Like, it just, like, all you see are shadows. And by the time you think they're close, it's too late. Right. So then I try to just do a close game and try and keep them close. But her advantage over me was she was freaking tall. Like, okay, I'm 5'4" and I got T-Rex arms. Okay. So I'm all about getting in close. She had the longest arms in the world and was keeping me far enough away that I couldn't. So that's what I remember. I just told her, I'm like, I got to get eye surgery. Because I said, if I get eye surgery, I know this will go way better. And then I got eye surgery, but then everything changed. And then we lost her. So yeah. So we'll see. But in between that, then I started doing jiu-jitsu, and that was fun. I loved that. Was awesome.
Where?
That was a Momentum. So that again too. My son was taking karate there, I think it was, or kickboxing. I can't remember what he was doing there. He was little. Josh was like maybe like 8 or 9 years old. And I was on the steps just wait every time, right? You take your kids and you sit and wait. So I was sitting there waiting, and Momentum used to have 2 floors. And I'd sit on the stairs. He was upstairs, and then downstairs there's all these guys just rolling around on the ground. I was just waiting for Josh to get done. And the instructor at the time was Pat Major. And he looked over. He's like, what are you doing? I was like, I don't know, just sitting here. He's like, throw on a gi. I'm like, I don't know how to do this. He's like, just throw it on. I'm like, okay. So I was like, why not? So then all of a sudden I started training. Well, not even a month later, he's like, hey, we're going to a competition. We're going to Calgary. I was like, I've never done this. He's like, that's okay. He's like, you've been training. He's like, you're going to learn in the process. And I loved it and stuck with it.
How'd you do?
2 silvers and a bronze.
Nice.
So that was good. But then end up dislocating my shoulder 5 times. In sound, because I started training sambo, that I got tossed. But it first dislocated. It wasn't jiu-jitsu yet. There was a girl who ended up just when I was on my side, she came from the side and just landed on me, and then just the way she landed on it, popped my shoulder out. And then surfing. So again, let's go surfing. It's like, let's try everything. Went surfing, same thing. Caught the wave the wrong way and the board went flying, and it just yanked my arm. Shoulder's dislocated. Got it popped back in, but there was a doctor, thank goodness, on the beach. And then he's like, well, maybe you should go to the hospital. I'm like, no, probably not. I'm going to ice it for like 5 minutes. I'm going back out. So my kids are like, well, you're so nuts.
Do you still surf?
Yeah. So I take the kids to Tofino. Where it got dislocated was in Hawaii. And when I was in Costa Rica, I went surfing. And
Did you ever see a shark?
No, don't talk about that.
Yeah. I mean,
we don't talk about that.
That's why I'm in Saskatchewan.
I know. So I think that's why I always say, let's go to Tofino, because I always think because it's cold, there's going to be no sharks. It's like,
is that true?
Just okay. Let me be naive and dumb, okay? The scariest one was in Hawaii, because I was trying to get waves that were further out because they were bigger. And so I went out, and the guy's like, oh yeah, you can go past whatever that point was called. I'm like, okay. And there I'm paddling out, and I turn the board around, and I'm waiting. And then when you're out there and it's just waves in you, and I'm like, oh my gosh, looking down, like, there's a whole other world underneath me. I'm like, I think I'm going to cry. I wasn't even paying attention. And then I went to turn my board to see, and that's when the wave came, and I missed it. And that's when it threw me in my arm, dislocated me. I was out there, dislocated arm, trying to swim back with one arm. And I'm like, oh my gosh, there might be sharks in here. I was the world's fastest one-arm swimmer. Anyways, the guy came back out, and then he's like, what's going on? I said, I dislocated my arm. So then he ended up throwing me back up onto the board and then pulled me in. It was, yeah. But I still go when I can. And then I dislocated it when I was skiing. It's like every sport I think I've done, I've always fractured, broke. I busted both my ankles playing rugby. Horseback riding, face is smashed. I got stitches all over my face. My hand was crushed. I was, yeah. You just get up and do it again, though.
You got to write a book about when you're an adult. Sounds like you're still going through things.
Well, I go to therapy for that. Actually, the horse bit. So Maggie Lou book 2 is coming out, and I put in stuff in there about the horseback riding because I've been bucked off more times than I probably actually rode a horse. And how many times I got hurt, like stitches, like head to toe, I'm covered in stitches.
Where do you go to ride?
Well, we used to have horses. So we used to have, well, we had thoroughbreds. I wasn't allowed to ride them, but we had other horses wherever we boarded them, and I would ride. And growing up, we had like ponies and stuff like that. But it was the horses that would always bug me off. It was bad. Even as an adult, I had really bad experiences as an adult. It was so bad. So yeah, I'm a walking accident. But it's good because I don't quit though. Can't break me.
That's good. That's a good quality. Because that's something I wanted to pick your brain about is failure. Like setbacks, failure, because you probably see them a lot with everything you're a part of.
Yep.
So how do you just keep going? What's your mindset around failure?
Oh, to me, I think it's something you grow up with and you either do it or you don't, right? You can learn it, right? Someone who's always maybe quit, eventually they can retrain, because it is a response, that fight or flight, right? I think that's what it is. And I think when you fail, it's either fight, get up and do it again, or do I flight and then just take off and fuck off? I'm not doing this again, right? But I think that's ingrained in you. And then if you're always the flight person, I'm sure there are ways that you can get into that. Okay, no, I'm going to get back up and do it again. But I think some of us are just born with that. Like, again, in Maggie Lou's book, talking about her, I made bike ramps and they were horrible. And how many bikes I wrecked, how many crashes I took, how many spills and stitches because of all these failures I had. But that's how I learned. Maybe I learned I was, I am invincible. It's like, but all those little dumb things that I learned, right? And it's, you just get up and you just do it again. And I think too, part of it's, for me, it was my parents, right? My dad, like, again, from the first book with him, like always learning and hearing about him, their resiliency and, that never give up attitude. Like, it's either work or die, right? Then back in their day. So there was no giving up. There was no stopping. It didn't matter what was going on. He just had to keep going. For him to get up and leave small town Saskatchewan with a little bag and hitchhike into Regina to go to work in the grain elevators at 13, I'm just like, growing up, I'm like, I have nothing to complain about. Like, I have a good life. So little bumps and scratches. I think I took my example from my parents, everything that they went through. I have a pretty easy life. There should be no reason that I quit anything that I do. So it's so funny to talk about that. I had to do a video for the Whistler Film Festival in why they should choose me. And I said, I think it's my persistence and my resiliency because I don't give up easy. I can fail a million times. Mm-hmm. That I don't have an issue with. And that's what grows you up. And like I said, it's that learning curve. My learning curve has been real big. But for me, it's like just getting up and doing it again and again and again. I'm okay. I'm okay with that. I think
you've never felt like embarrassment or
I think you do at the time, but you just shrug it off, right? And it's like, oh, whatever. It's like, yeah. Like when I got bronze and like I won the competition, I was like, okay, nobody comes here to lose, okay? And I'm like, I'm a horrible parent. I'm like, no, second place is first place loser, okay? It's like, we don't come here to lose.
Yeah.
I was like,
I'm only having fun when I'm winning. So I understand.
But it's like, well, I'm serious though, because I used to coach ball and I used to help coach volleyball and stuff. And I used to tell them, I'm like, okay, yes, your parents, great. You come here to have fun. But I'm like, hey, put that aside. I'm going to tell you as a coach, guess what? We didn't train all this time and work our asses off to get here so we could lose. Okay, I'm just being honest. We're not here to lose. We're not investing all this time, all this equipment, drive all the way here, spend a whole weekend here, whatever we're doing. We did not come here to get second place. We're actually going after first place. It's okay to want that. But you do have to learn to be a humble loser at the same fact. But that was always my thing with my kids. I'm like, second place, first place loser. Jokingly. But good job. Good job.
I'm going to cut that into a clip and turn it into a song. I'm going to walk out to it in my next boxing match.
Oh, please do. Please.
Okay, I'm gonna go through this quote you sent me that in my mind represents you perfectly. And it's by Marianne Williamson.
Yes, she's an author.
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerless or powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. What is that?
Amen, brother.
How'd I do reading it?
Yeah. No, it is probably one of, when you say you have like life quotes, the 3 I sent you are my life quotes. Especially the last one. But this one, I think is so important, especially not just women. I always hate just saying it's just for women. It's for everyone. But for me, because for a lot of years, being silenced or being told, oh, you shouldn't be so loud, oh, you shouldn't be so this. And even like in weights, like now that I've done powerlifting and competed in that. And then before that, like my mom bought me my first weight set when I was 13. So I'm 51. This is a long time ago, way back in the 80s when there were no girls lifting weights where I was from. Right. And there was always this, oh, you shouldn't be so strong, blah, blah, blah. You shouldn't be so this. It's like, oh, well, whatever, she's a butch. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. Fuck you. Let's fight then. You want to call me names? I'll take you on. But it was, I don't know why, but it was like, but you're always silenced, right? You shouldn't be so strong. You shouldn't be so loud. You shouldn't be so this. And I think for a lot of years, especially, I was very quiet and I was very reserved growing up because I was like, I'm not supposed to be all those things. And then I think too, as you mature as a woman and as a human being, you grow up and you learn things about yourself. You learn things about the world. Probably what grew me up the most was having a child, right? When my life no longer matters, but my whole world now evolves around someone else. And just maturing in that sense. And then, yeah, I'm like, no, I don't need to pretend and act demure or quiet or be the wallflower and hide in the corner. I was like, no, this is who I am. And if it's too much, then go find something less. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of, and then, yeah, menopause brings a whole nother thing around. It's like, I shall take on the world. You can join me. Yeah, but I love that quote for that fact that who are you not to be a beautiful person, right? And not just talking physically, but as a beautiful human being, right? And it's who are you not? Like, who says you can't be all those things? And I think that's why I try so many different things, because I really do believe we have one go on this planet, right? I believe I'm going somewhere else afterwards, but right now here, when my feet are on this earth, this is all I got. And I want to try and do everything and anything I can in that window of time and enjoy it. And whether I leave examples, good or bad, for those to be either inspired or warned about, that's what I hope to do at the end of it, right? When at the end of the day, that's what I want, is to see that I actually lived my life. I just didn't come here, get a job, pay bills, go home, go to bed, buy groceries. Like I would die I would honestly die if that was just it. So I want to live and experience life, I think. And that's what, to me, that's what that quote is who are you not to be all these beautiful, wonderful things? Because you are only, when you are that big shining person and who you are, you open up the door for other people and you give them permission to be, hey, I can be myself as well. I don't need to pretend to be anything else. So I think that's what it is. It just gives you permission to be free and then allows other people to be free in their giftings and whatever that is. Right. So
That's that's exactly what I think of you. Because you are like you like inspire, but because you're outgoing and you're not scared and you just be you, like you inspire me, and I tell you that every time I see you. But I'm sure there's hundreds, if not thousands, of people that you've inspired that just have not said anything, and that's just because of
or
who
scared.
you are. Yeah, or scared of you.
No,
I for real. You're
no, just scared of the things I've done. It's like don't do what she's done.
No, I think you're a gift, because you're one of the people in my life that when I'm like talking to other people and they're telling me what they're doing, I'm just like, oh, you need to meet my friend Arnolda. You'd like her, and I just find myself talking about you all the time, mostly good.
Okay.
But you're like, you come to my mind so often.
Aww.
For so many different things, like just because you're like a part of, like you said, like athletic, you're part of boxing, which is obviously a big part of my life. But then you're writing, you got a art museum.
Yeah, I started doing art out of nowhere.
Right. That's what I mean.
What am I doing? I don't know. I'm building art right now. Leave me alone.
So then anytime somebody else is creative, which I'm not creative, I'm like, oh, you need to meet my friend Arnolda. You'd like her. So it's the moment I read that after you sent that to me, I was like, this is you. Exactly. And it's nice because it gives, like you said, like the quote says, it gives other people permission to be themselves. Especially like you, I know you said you don't want to say like female or,
yeah,
but it's like, I think you can, like, you're like a light, especially in the indigenous community, where a lot of females are more quiet and maybe shy to speak out. You're not.
Wait till they become the aunties. Yeah. There's a stage they hit.
Yeah. Or it just goes out the window.
Then the laughter comes and it's all over for everyone.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then, okay, this next quote that you sent me here. According to all known laws of aviation, there is no way a bee should be able to fly. Its wings are too small to get its fat little body off the ground. The bee, of course, flies anyway because bees don't care what humans think is impossible.
Exactly. Is that not beautiful?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, how many times do other people put limits on you?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Whether it's just a small comment or even a look. And then we internalize that and we stop ourselves from doing something we wanted to do. Like, I wanted to write since I was little. Like, my first book or story I wrote was I was a grade 5, right? Art, I've always wanted to do art, but someone said something or did something. And again, those limitations. And then sometimes there are our own limitations, right? Because we either have fear of failure, fear of not being liked, or fear of whatever we're putting out there is shit, right? We don't want that, right? We don't like that. But it's that quote and the fact that, you know what? Bees don't care what humans think. Like, again, engineer-wise, that fat little bee should not be able to fly. And I said, that's how I feel. I feel like the fat little bee shouldn't be able to fly. I'm like, but here I am, so cute. It's like, I'm going to go, catch you later. That's what I love about that. And I think everyone has that potential and everyone does have something to offer. But what stops us is usually the limitations that are around us. It's, again, other people or our own self-limiting thoughts, right? Or
Those like
doubts,
yeah.
right?
I was just talking to one of my friends about belief systems and how they're not real.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like a belief, like you can change it. You can change any belief.
Yeah.
You know, they're not real.
Yeah.
They're just there, and for some reason you've like made it a part of you, and you're living through that. But you could just change that belief system and then live through that one.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, again, that mindset, right? That training, right? It's like, well, like training, like physically. Well, you're going to be doing that, but you're training it, mentally or, through your intellect. Somehow you're just trying to rewire your thinking in order to do something else, right? So I just find that a beautiful quote. So
It's harder to harder mentally because you don't get to see the results all the
yes.
time.
Yes.
So then that doubt just stays.
Yeah, that's an internal one, right? So it's when we can't see results, it's very hard for us as humans because we like that either a tactile, right? We need to see or feel something, or we need a reward for it. And when there's no external reward or something we can touch or feel, then sometimes it's harder to make those changes. But those are usually the ones that mean the most, right? When they're internal, like you said, the mental or the intellectual ones, those changes, those challenges that we have to go through, when those are changed, because it affects everything else, right? So
Do you feel like how's your self-awareness? 'Cause mine sucks. But how's yours?
I don't know. I'm here.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know if I even think about it that much. I don't know. I guess it's fine. It's healthy. It's there, but I try not to get tied up with it, I guess, as much. What I do often do, like every morning for me always starts with I get up and I feed my mind. Right. So first thing is I have some kind of books, some kind of motivational things that I read and I journal, and they ask me real questions, things that I'm battling or then challenges you're facing that week. And I'll journal it. And then I always go for a walk, or heaven forbid, I do a run. Thanks, Tarrant. So I'll do that in the mornings because, again, and then I need to, because I said I always try and feed all parts of my body. So I do my mental feeding. I try and do a spiritual feeding, praying, and then my physical body. I go for my walk. I need my fresh air. I need the sunlight. I need my vitamin D. And then, same fact, I'll listen to different types of podcasts and people who are talking about all those real issues that face one of those. Right. So, again, I guess that self awareness is all through that, right? Because as I constantly challenging myself, it's like, okay, what dumb thing have I done this week that I need to change? Or what limiting thought am I having about myself that's stopping me from doing something that I want to do? Right. So I think it's just a daily thing that you do. I don't know. I try and make sure I work it into my day every day. So
Yeah, that's
some days I win at it. Some days I just get up, get a coffee, and I got to get to work. So none of it gets done. But for the most part, I try and have my schedule to get everything in alignment so that I'm ready to take on the day.
sometimes I feel like like I forgive myself too quickly, you know? And I just move on. So then I'm like, I don't ever like fix things. I'm just like, it's all right.
You are forgiven.
Yeah, can't be too hard on myself. So then I'm like, I
But
don't even reflect on it lots of the times because I just like move forward.
I think I would almost prefer say someone I'm more forgiving of myself if you said I was unforgiving. Because for me, with unforgiveness becomes hurt. And to me, that's so much negativity that would be harnessed inside of you, that anything we harness inside of us comes out physically eventually, right? So for me, I was like, well, I'd almost prefer you to be a lot more forgiving to yourself. And if you want to make changes, you will eventually. like if they're big life things, right? You're an intelligent man. I've known you well enough now that if there was something incredibly wrong with your life, I know you'd be like, okay, something's got to change here, right? So I don't think you have to worry too much about your self-awareness. I think you're pretty self-aware.
Thank you.
He's like, don't talk to my wife.
What else am I?
It's a very hairy man.
Thank you. All right, we got one more quote here.
Yes. Favorite one of the day.
Yeah. By
this is all for the Gen Xers out there.
By the one and only Ice Cube. You can do it. Put your back into it.
You gotta put it on some hoodies, man. We need that on a hoodie.
You know what'd be a good one? Is a picture of Copus lifting and you spotting him yelling
that
you
at
can
him.
do it, put your back into it.
And then him yelling, no, it's spinal, it's spinal. It's
yes.
not back, it's spinal. Yes.
So what is this one? What does this mean to you?
That's exactly what it says, man. You can do anything, just put your back into it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it is. It's just this. Just do it. Like quote Nike. I don't know. I love that saying. Okay, Ice Cube is awesome as well, but just the whole fact of I just love that saying. It's like I think I use it more often than not. Yeah, between that and to the window, to the wall. It's like, okay, so what am I side jokes?
And when do you use that one?
What am I side? Okay, one of the other things that I do on the side because I used to be a nurse. No longer a nurse, but I work part-time casually at Sanctum House, which is a home for mothers and babies who have HIV. It's been a long time since I had a baby around. Like I said, my oldest is 24, my youngest is 18. So, but I love babies. I'm like, oh, I'm cuddling them, dancing around with them, changing them. I'm like, oh my gosh, I love this job. And then I'm sitting there and I'm making one of them dance. And that's the song I started. The mom was over here and I'm like, to the window, to the wall, to the wall. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't sing the rest of that song. Baby. The mom just lost it because she started singing the rest of the song. She's like, that usually isn't what we sing them to put them to bed, but you know, if it works, it works.
Yeah. And let's go back to quote number 1. And that is you. Yes.
Oh, yes. But music quotes, that quote. It's just about just doing it, right? It's when you put your back into it, put your heart into it, put your mind into it, just put your gut into it, whatever you got, just put into it.
Put something into
just
it.
do it.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, for me, like same thing, whether it's my art, like to even think, to wrap my head around the fact that my art, this like exhibit, is at Batoche National Heritage Site for the rest of the summer just floors me. Because I'm like, I never thought in a million years, like little West Side awkward Métis girl from Saskatoon, like who, like I almost didn't graduate. I actually tried to commit suicide in grade 12. Like they didn't think I was going to make it through. So I'd even think and see everything that I've done now. It's like, okay, well, it is kind of cool. I have put my back into it. Okay. And to know all those things, right? It's just to be able to work hard and do those things, but not just work hard in order to get a paycheck. I work hard at things that are passions of mine, things that I love, whether it's storytelling or artwork or, you know, working at the home, like Sanctum Home, or volunteering at, you know, the prison system, like going to the jails and teaching creative writing to inmates. Like I love doing that. So I said, I'd like to do a little bit of everything and put my back everywhere.
Yeah, what haven't you done? I didn't even know you did that.
Yeah, well, the thing is stuff I do on the side. So it's
what inspired the art?
The art?
Yeah, and then how do you go about putting a whole exhibit
Oh,
together.
it's a magical carpet ride. Let me tell you that. So it all began 20 years ago. Me and my dad, I took him back to the shack where he grew up in. And I want to take pictures. I wanted the doorknob. I wanted to steal the doorknob. And my dad wouldn't let me steal it because you can't steal it. It's like, no, you can't do that. So as we were leaving, though, there was a board hanging off the house. And I ran back, grabbed the board. Like it was hanging off by one nail. It was going to fall off anyways. Grabbed the board. And he's yelling at me, you can't steal that, blah, blah, blah. He was so mad at me. I threw it in the back of the truck. I'm like, whatever, Dad, I'm taking this board. It's like one board. Anyway, for 20 years, that board has moved with me. We've moved probably like 4 times. Plus, I was overseas. That board has remained with me. Funny story. Then move along, wrote the book of all my dad's stories. And then I got invited back to Punachai, which is where his Road Allowance house was. And his house was still standing. And the gentleman who took me there, I'm like, oh, I wanted to take the doorknob, 20 years ago, but my dad wouldn't let me have it. He's like, hang on a second. He calls up the guy who owns the land, who at that point was the mayor. And he said, this is who I have here. She went into the reading at the school. She's touring the area. And can she take the doorknob? He's like, she can take whatever she wants from there. It's hers. So I took the doors off. I took the doors and the windows, put them in the back of my trunk, brought them home. And then they just sat in my living room. And I'm like, now what am I going to do? And I'm like, I had doors and windows for my dad's shack. I got that old piece of wood, went and found that. And I have my story. And then again, as a creative, some of you just get visions, right? And it's just like, I had a vision of doing a short narration film of the story, condensed version. So it's only 15 minutes long. And I had a dear friend of mine do the narration for it. Basil Cuisance, he's from Kisiku's. And I'd always told him, I was like, if I ever get my books on Audible, I said, I need you to be the voice. He's like the James Earl Jones of Indian country. Like his voice, is unmistakable, right? I love listening to his voice. He's got this radio voice. So he did that, and I had that, and then I had these doors and windows, and I started rebuilding them because they were pretty broken down. And then it just got bigger and bigger, and I started to make more art pieces. And then I'm like, hey, well, I need a set of train tracks. And I just started building from there. And I'm like sending letters out to like all these different places. And like, I'm not an artist, right? I said I do art, but I don't do exhibits. I didn't know what to do. And I started contacting people and I'm like, hey, this is what I'm doing. I don't know what to do with it. One of the ladies at Reme said, well, phone the curator at Wanaskewin. She said, I think it would be a great fit for there. And I went and met with her at the time, the curator. And she's like, yeah, we'll take it. I'm like, oh, okay, this is real now. I guess I'm actually going to have an art exhibit. This is really cool. I'm like, oh, I got to finish this now. So I have art and my poetry and a set of train tracks. I had CN Rail donate because I told the guy, I'm like, so can I just take these tracks that are sitting out here? He's like, don't touch them.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's like, well, I'll get you some. So he got me some.
Don't say that.
And then, it's amazing. And now it's been in 2 galleries. It's going to Batoche. I actually have Red Deer might take it next year. And then there's 2 galleries in BC who are looking at it. But then I had an email from Montana. So the book won the award down in Montana 2 years ago. And they loved the book and they loved that story. And they're like, well, we heard you had a art exhibit and we'd love to bring it down here. I'm like, we're just trying to find space. So I'm waiting to hear back if they can find anywhere I can take it. So yeah, that's how that started, was with that one piece of wood. And then at the end, I'm like, oh, I know where I'm going to use this piece of wood. With 20 years ago, it started with one piece of wood. I said, you just never know.
That's so cool. That is wild. That is wild. You just wanted to steal a doorknob.
I just wanted the doorknob because I said, whenever I look at the doorknob, all I see is my cookum's hand every day, opening it and going to work, opening the other side and coming home. And that originally my only plan was to take the doorknobs and get them framed. That was it. And then same thing, when I started writing the stories of my dad's life, the whole plan was write the stories and whatever, print them off and then give them to my kids. I just want them to know where they came from. I always want them to remember everything that their grandpa would have lived through in order to bring me here, in order to bring them here. Like their lives are so different, right? And the same Mushim that they had, when he was alive, they'd see him every week. They'd have meals with him. He would teach them how to do construction. I said, that same man you guys see every day is the same boy in these stories. And I want you to remember everything that he had to fight through in order to continue this, right? And that was how that started, was just me just wanting to teach my kids. So, and then sometimes you just put a little too much back into it.
With you every time.
Away we go. Away we go.
It's every time.
And now I have a play that's based on that as well. So, yeah.
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 So we're going to wrap up here.
Wrap it up.
But just let anyone know pretty much everything where you have something where they can go check it out. Anything you want to share, from books to art to
books, plays, or be at Batosh. Oh, and my feature film. So I have an attached director for it, and then I'm hoping that we'll find a producer, and that hopefully will get up on screen in the next couple of years. And then the short film, hopefully that will get done this summer and it'll be ready for next year. And that also is on the Road Allowance families. So just jumping into everything. And hopefully get my podcast up and going.
Yes, I cannot wait. I cannot wait.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining me.
Maybe throw
today.
A fight or another powerlifting competition in there. Who knows?
Yes.
Oh, I'm joining. I start rowing next week. I'm doing rowing.
On the water?
Yeah, on the water.
Who knows?
Well, I used to kayak, and then I love paddleboarding. I love the water. And I'm like, well, I need something. I'm a competitive person. I need something competitive to do. And I'm like, okay, well, I couldn't go back to jiu-jitsu. I can, but all I can do are drills. I can't compete because if the shoulder pops out, it's going to pop out. I know it is. And then I have to go for surgery. I'm like, well, let's do rowing. So I signed up and I'm going to do rowing. So next week, we'll see. Maybe I'll compete in rowing this year.
And race?
Yeah.
Wild.
We'll see.
Wild. Okay. Before we go.
Okay. One more.
I was out in the Shambo Lake doing some boxing, some fitness out there. And they're a rowing community because they're right on the water. And one of the teachers was telling me that, so I went there to do the boxing and no one was at the school. So no one showed up that day. And then I was asking why. And so they were having an argument, the town and the council. So they decided to race on it.
I want to live there.
Yeah. And the council won. So they shut it down.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
I was
like, that is
the best.
Better than arguing for years.
Yeah.
It's just like, let's race on it.
Yep.
And the fact that they couldn't find 6 people better than the people on council is wild, by the way. The whole town?
That is awesome.
That's impressive.
That's a good town.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you.
No, thank you.
My very first guest, my very first podcast. I don't know how this went, but we'll see.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Because you're awesome, Cole.
You're awesome, too. And thanks for coming out.
No, this was fun.